This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 0100 Zulu on Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So check-ins are definitely appreciated. In fact, I got the numbers for July almost ready to send in. So I was kind of looking at them earlier, and let's see. For July, we had 103 check-ins on the Astronomy Net, so I'd appreciate that. And 175 views over on YouTube. And well, actually, yeah, that's right, 175 views for the month. Quite a few, 28 likes over the course. So I'd like to have a lot more of those of you who are on YouTube liking the Colorado Astronomy Net over there. So I do appreciate everybody that does. We are on YouTube tonight, so I do appreciate those that are checking in via that system. In fact, I got to bring the chat window up. Okay, why is it showing up over there? Okay, I'm just looking at how it's showing up. Okay, we do have some of those over there. All right. Yeah, we do. I take check-ins several ways. I'll tell you about that in just a sec. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I take check-ins in several ways. If you happen to have NetLogger, I'll get you checked in when I see your call sign pop up in the AIM window. That's almost instant messaging, so there's a slight delay there. I am on YouTube, like I said before, so I take check-ins as I see you over on YouTube. If you have a call sign and are checking in via YouTube, if you would post that in the chat, I would appreciate it. I see some of them have already done so, so I'll acknowledge them. And if you don't have a call sign and you're new to the net, or you're old to the net, as for that matter, just let me know your first name and location. Call signs, I got you in QRZ, so there's no problem. But anyone over on YouTube, please please add your first name and a location so I can add you to the list, because all check-ins count. As I said, I send them off to JPL. JPL uses our numbers. I am a solar system ambassador for that program. Been doing that since 1999. And they got funding from NASA to disseminate information and things like that, some of which you guys get. So I do appreciate all of that, and I'd like to see those numbers climb over there on YouTube for sure. Right now I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge check-ins via NetLogger. We got Randall, AE7RJ, thanks for checking in tonight. Robert, Bob, KA8LYJ, thanks for checking in tonight. Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. John, W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. Doug, K0ATP, thanks for checking in tonight. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Robert, AA5AH, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. And Chad, KF0UUC, thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Richard, WB9CSP, thanks for checking in tonight. We got, I gotta have, for some reason my copy and paste from over there on YouTube isn't working. All right, we got Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in tonight. Mary, VE3AOA, thanks for checking in tonight. Graham, MM1DEA, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mike, K7VWP, thanks for checking in tonight. I think that's, let's see who we got. Yeah, I know the audio is kind of weird. We have Roundhouse 777 over on YouTube, so welcome. I appreciate it. I think that's a new call or a new tag over on YouTube. If you're listening in, Roundhouse 777, if I could get a first name and a location, I would appreciate it. That way I can associate it on my list. I do keep a database of everyone checking in. I do appreciate it. If you have a call sign, even better. But please bear with me as far as audio is concerned. There is a lag over on YouTube by actually a minute or so. And there's some lag between digital and analog. I'll try to be quick on the trigger. Well, not too quick on the trigger here, and get you all in. This is a new month. I'm going to do something slightly different this evening. because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in August that I want to talk about tonight. So that will the local astronomical news will be a little shortened, but we'll be embellished with the what am I trying to say? With the bulletins for this evening. So stick around for that. Okay, and Eric, we got you on the list, KR4AFB. Thanks for posting that, no problem. And we got K3HY as well. Bruce, we got you on the list as well. So I do appreciate everybody checking in. There we go. I'm just making some notes here. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and open up the net. I take them, take call signs over the air, which I will do as well. And if you're out there just listening and don't have any way to check in, you can send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. And just let me know you're out there. First name, call sign if you got one. That's no worries. And a first name and location, and let me know you're out there listening in to the net tonight on the SkyHub Link system, skyhublink.com for more information. So check that out. All right. I'll go ahead and open up the net for anyone wanting to check in over the air. Anyone wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, I don't know what that flippy floppy sound is, but I will continue on. Hopefully that won't distract. Russ, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net, KD8 VYT, I do believe. Got your call sign. Welcome to the net. Russ, I'd like to kind of formally welcome you and find out a little bit of information. I know you said in and out, but this is not one of those nets where you get to go in and out, at least not your first time. I like to find out a little bit of information from you and tell you a little bit about the net. Again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I've been doing the net for about 30 years. Got quite a following here tonight. We got all levels of experience for those that are just starting out with astronomy, or those that have been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between with various interests as well. Hopefully you can stick around, but right now I'd like to touch base with you, Russ, and find out a little bit more about your background and interest in astronomy, whether you're starting out or you've been doing it for a while. KD8 VYT, please share with us what your interests are. Go ahead, please.
This is KD8 VYT. Yeah, I have a couple small telescopes. I haven't used them in a long time, but I heard about this net. I'm going to check it out and see what's going on. I am interested in things that go on in space. We watch the launches and any of the things that are happening. We sometimes try and go out and showers and things like that. Kind of been away from it. Just thought I'd listen to this net and see what kind of things are going on, and just don't really have much to say tonight. KV8 VYT 73.
All right, Russ. Well, welcome to the net. You are in for a treat tonight. We're covering all those bases, I do believe. So this is a learning net. So questions are definitely encouraged. Let's see if you can stomp the net control. Yeah, there you go. With a question, or we'll figure it out. There may be someone on here that has an answer. I try to come up with most of them, but again, welcome to the net, and please stick around. We are covering meteor showers and other events and rockets up in space. So we have a rocket launch part of the net as well. So and a little history lesson a little bit later on as well. So stick around, please. We'll probably run for another hour and 45 minutes. I know it's a little bit later, but if you could stay up late, I definitely appreciate it. So and I appreciate everybody checking in and staying up late with us. We got Graham in Scotland, so it's definitely it's 2 a.m. his time. So we do appreciate him staying up late with us as well. So there you go. Okay. Any of you on YouTube that have any questions during the net, definitely post them in the chat, and I'll try to make sure I see them. The print is kind of small. We'll see how that works. All right. Right now, I'll go ahead and, let's see. Call for more check-ins. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo 0 Victor Lima, Kilo 0 Victor Lima, Parker in Lawrence, Kansas. WE8F, Whiskey Echo 8 Mike. Check me in and out. I'll be listening only tonight. 73. Kilo Juliet 5, Kilo Echo India. Kilo Juliet 5, Kilo Echo India, Tom in Houston, Texas. Mike 6, Victor Alpha Yankee. 6, Victor Alpha Yankee. Steve in Colorado Springs, Freebird.
Okay, I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on, but there's one call sign. I think it was kind of a very garbled double, or maybe a triple. I'm not sure. Right at the beginning, the Kilo November 4 station. I think it's ending in Whiskey Tango. I heard the name and it doesn't matter. Doesn't match what I typed in. So Kilo November 4, if you could come back with your call sign, I would appreciate it, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. That's Kilo November 4. Echo Whiskey. Kilo November 4. Echo Whiskey Echo.
Okay, Thomas, we got you on the list. Thanks for checking in tonight. KN4EWT. And Parker, we got you on the list. K0VL. Thanks for checking in tonight. David, WE8M. Thanks for checking in tonight. Tom, KJ5KEI. Tom, thanks for checking in tonight, and welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. That's new on the list as well, so I'll touch base in just a sec. Steve, KM6VAY, thanks for checking in tonight. I may have missed someone else. I'll call in just a sec. But Tom and Texas, KJ5KEI, welcome to the net. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. And like I told Russ, I've been doing this for 30 years. Would you believe it? So I'd like to touch base with you, Tom, and find out what your interest background in astronomy, whether you're starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have. Please share with us what your experience is. KJ5KEI, go ahead.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I was actually logging in on EchoLink. I was hoping to talk to my son, who's out in the Wyoming area doing some camping, and we had looked up some different repeaters, and we had set on this time to try to contact. I kind of stumbled into your net, and it sounds interesting. I've done nighttime photography. We have most of the stuff that we look at is through binoculars. We have that, I forget what happens, is SkyTrack or something, where you can use your phone to figure out what the constellations, and stars, and planets are. So my wife and I, we like looking up to the heavens. Texas, West Texas has some beautiful dark skies. If you've ever been out to Big Bend National Park, it's one of the darkest skies in the country. And we're out there and got pictures of the Milky Way. And actually, I got pictures of the space station. That was kind of inadvertent. As I was looking at the tent, I was like, what the freak? And it turned out it was the space station. So I'm interested in hearing what is going on over there tonight. Thank you.
All right, Tom, again, welcome to the net. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get the net started. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. If you do have YouTube or NetLogger, you can pop in over there and I'll put you on the list. But I'll look for check-ins over the air a little bit later on. Announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list, or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to do all that, just Google my call sign. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the webpage. Or did I just say that? So I do apologize, but yeah, definitely. check that out for sure. All right. Let's see. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to check out our website at iaas.org for more information, or check us out on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net has a Facebook page as well. So if you happen to have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. They also have a club call sign, K0AAS. If you happen to hear that call sign on the air, be sure to hop on there and say hey to the crew. For those of you who are interested in flight simming, you may want to check out Jack's KE0VH's YouTube channel, which is Captain Jack Flight Sim, CaptainJackFLTSIM, Captain Jack Flight Sim, on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. He's got some interesting flights that you might want to travel along with. Great bunch of guys on there as well. Some of us ham radio operators too, listening in and just having if you just want to sit back and relax and watch Jack fly and chart with the other or figure out what's going on with it if you're interested in that. Definitely check that out. Captain Jack Flight Sim, Mondays and Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Mountain. That's it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get into the local astronomical news for August. Big month. A lot of stuff happening this month that I will cover several ways. I got a bulletin that I will replace the normal stuff that I talk about, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. But I will start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We got last quarter moon on the 5th, new moon on the 12th, first quarter on the 19th, and a full moon on the 28th. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month, on the 10th. It will be 225,734 miles from Earth. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, on the 22nd. It will be 251,433 miles from Earth. All right. The apogee and perigee of the moon are significant. At least the perigee is significant this month for what's coming up on the 12th. Right now, I'm going to start off. This is actually going to be, and that's all I'm going to pass along with the newsletter tonight. So I'm going to let this thing reset and then get into the first bulletin. So I am mixing it up a little bit tonight. So hopefully bear with me and I won't get too mixed up either. This is an article from Cosmic Pursuits. And it's the night sky this month, August 2026. A lot of good information here, so listen up. And it's a day by day, blow by blow events. And I kind of like the way they had this formatted. But I don't want to copy it on my own newsletter. So here we go. It's the most wonderful month of the year for stargazers. The best meteor shower of the year peaks with the moon completely out of the way this year. A total solar eclipse falls across Iceland and Spain, with much of Europe and parts of North America within the path of partial solar eclipse. A total lunar eclipse falls across the Americas 2 weeks later. And of course, we have the Milky Way emerging after dark with its myriad wonders. Here's what to see in the night sky this month. Okay, August 2nd. We missed that 2 days ago, but not to worry. Mercury reaches greatest western elongation, 19 degrees from the sun. The planet lies in Gemini in the morning sky now and makes a fine apparition for northern observers for the next 2 weeks. This morning, it shines at magnitude plus 0.1 and brightens over the next many days as it moves back towards the sun. I'm going to add in here my normal tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. So the best that you can do with the naked eye is about 6th magnitude, the dimmest, I should say, is a 6th magnitude under optimal conditions. Optimal dark sky conditions. So a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter. The magnitude scale is set up so that every 5 magnitudes is a 100 time difference in brightness. So a magnitude 1 object is 100 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object. And since I do repeat magnitude quite often through this bulletin, as well as on my own. August 4th, the moon rises about 7 degrees north of Saturn in the southeast around midnight. The ring planet continues to brighten and fatten and present a tantalizing sight in a telescope as it moves towards opposition in early October. On the 6th, we have a last quarter moon. On the 9th, the waning crescent moon lies about 4 degrees from Mars in the early morning sky. Mars smolders just north of the upraised club of Orion. It shines at magnitude plus 1.3 and spans nearly 5 seconds of arc in a telescope as it slowly brightens and grows larger. On the 11th, look for Mercury near a wafer-thin moon low over the northeastern horizon before sunrise. August 12th, we have the new moon occurring at 17:37 Universal Time. And that is significant. August 12th, a total solar eclipse falls across the Arctic over a portion of Greenland and Iceland and down into Spain and the Mediterranean. Much of Europe and Canada will see a partial eclipse during the event. Timeanddate.com has timing and maps for the event. And you can enter your, I have that link on my web page as well. So enter your location at the upper right of the page to get visibility of this spectacular event for your location. I'm looking at the map right now. It's kind of curving down over the northeastern part of Greenland, crosses the western part of Iceland, and then through the Atlantic, and then crosses Spain. Just a very thin sliver of the northern part of Portugal and the northern part of Spain into the Mediterranean, and then it disappears. So that's the only European country other than Iceland that's getting to see the full total eclipse. You got the partial eclipse covering most of the rest of Western Europe. If you drew a line from the northwestern point of Washington along the Canadian border to about the Outer Banks of North Carolina, that is the far south that it's going to get, crossing through Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, those northern states. You'll see a very thin partial eclipse in Ohio, Kentucky, North Carolina. And then of course the northern part of the states, anything north of that line, you'll see a greater partial eclipse. Partial eclipses are interesting to spot. It's interesting to see if you have nice clear skies. So get out there, look underneath trees. You'll see a myriad number of partial eclipses underneath trees. Hold your finger up in a crosshatch, or take a colander out in the sunlight and look at all the little partial eclipses that you can see. But you're not talking, Maine is getting like a little less than 40%. So anything south of Maine is getting anywhere between 0 and 40%. And along that line that I just described from northern part of Washington. Canada gets a fair amount as well, so between 0 and 80% for Canada. Continuing on, a total solar eclipse. Oh, I already talked about that. Sorry. The 12th is a very significant date as well. The Perseid meteor shower peaks. This is the finest meteor shower of the year for northern stargazers, with 40 to 60 meteors per hour visible at the peak in the hours before dawn on August 12th, 13th. And conditions could not be better as the shower peaks at new moon. Once called the Tears of St. Lawrence, this meteor shower occurs as the Earth moves through a stream of debris left by Comet Swift-Tuttle. Current predictions put the peak at about 2:0200 Universal Time on August 13th. But take a look on the night and morning of August 11th and 12th. And 12th, 13th for the best chance to see meteors. Stay away from city lights if you can, and you will be rewarded with a bright meteor every minute or two. And if you miss the peak, do not worry. You can see Perseids from the end of July into mid-August. So now is the time to get out and look for some of those Perseids. It's one of those dependable meteor showers that you can see plus or minus a week on either side of the peak. So look for that. Uh, so even in the evening, you can go out for your evening walks, strolls right now while the moon is in the AM hours, and look for meteors. You might spot one, one or two streaking through the skies. Take your blanket out into your backyard. Try to not face towards street lights or anything like that, or your neighbor's backyard lights. I've got one of those. And see what you can see in the night skies from now through mid-August, well into the 19th, 20th of August for sure. You may be able to see quite a few of the Perseids. It will steadily increase as we get closer to the peaks. So look for that. August 14th through 16th, look again for Mars in the morning sky as it lies about a degree northwest of the fine star cluster M35 in Gemini. Take in the pairing in binoculars or a telescope. August 15th, Venus reaches greatest eastern elongation, about 46 degrees east of the sun. That means it's going to be as high as it's going to get in the western sky. Northern observers see the planet low over the western horizon after sunset. Southern hemisphere observers get a better view. Today, the crescent moon sits about 5 degrees to the planet's west. Venus shines at magnitude minus 4.3 and presents a half-lit disk in a telescope. As the planet slowly moves back towards the horizon in the coming days and weeks, it transitions to a crescent shape. August 20th. First quarter moon in August 20th, 21st, Antares passes close to the moon tonight. August 20th in the Western Hemisphere, observers on the South Island of New Zealand and much of Australia see the moon occult the star on the night of the 21st. So, an occultation is when the moon will pass in front of that particular star. There are, if you check out IOTA, the, what is it, is the International Occultation Timing Association's website, or IOTA, especially if you're in New Zealand or Australia. You may even see a grazing occultation for that matter. All right, on August 28th, the full moon occurs at 0419 UT. It's called the Sturgeon moon. On the 28th, as always, 2 weeks after a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse falls. Observers in the Americas see an impressive total lunar eclipse. The Western North America sees the eclipse in progress as the moon rises, while observers in Africa and Western Europe see the eclipse in progress as the moon sets. Once again, timeanddate.com has interactive maps and timings. Just enter your location at the upper right of the page. And that's it for that bulletin for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right. So running a little backwards in the bulletins for this evening, but here we go. For those of you who are interested in ISS passes over your particular area, I've just posted over on YouTube this particular web page, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. I recommend this web page for several reasons. One, it gives you a nice list of timings, and right now I have the visible only box unchecked because when I do check it for Denver, I don't have any timings, so I have to go back to last week and see what I got, and I'll show you why. If I click on a particular time for the event, I end up getting a nice star chart. And I'm posting that over on YouTube right now, and it gives a nice path of the ISS over for that particular day. This was back on July 26th. And it shows you the path through the various constellations. One thing I like about this is I can print it out and take it outside and look at the star chart and see where everything is. I don't have to worry about looking at a little tiny iPhone screen or even an iPad screen and holding it upside down and worrying about dropping it on the ground. If I drop this thing on the ground, I can pick it up. I can write on it too if I want to make notes for that matter. But and after I'm done, I can ball it up and toss it in the recycle bin. But I definitely recommend this particular site if you're interested in seeing those star charts. It's got a lot more information on that site as well. That's www.heavens-above.com for more information. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to call, actually I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge a couple more check-ins. We got, in just a sec. Okay, a couple more check-ins. We had Danny, KF0WXE over on YouTube. Thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, W6RDZ, checking in via NetLocker. We got him. We got a few others on YouTube as well, and NetLogger. We got Chuck, WB4AIZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Paul, WA7GVL, thanks for checking in tonight. And Jack, KE0VH, thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. Appreciate that, Jack. And again, definitely check out Jack's Captain Jack Flight Sim on Mondays and Wednesdays. I already plugged those for you, Jack, but we'll plug it again. What the heck. Right now, I'm going to call on oh, we got another one. There we go. Marty, W9EAA, thanks for checking in tonight. I appreciate it. Right now I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ, ready for the rocket report. W6RDZ, please give the rocket report for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
This is W6RDZ, the Rocket Man Ed, ready to rock and roll with the rocket report for today, August 8th. Rather, how is my signal? Am I overdriving the mic, or do I need to talk louder? Back to you, Bernice.
Ed, neither. You sound just right. So you got whatever you fixed. So there you go. You're sounding good. No problems there. So excuse me. W6RDZ. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please proceed with the rocket report. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Barnes, and good evening, and to everybody on the net. We're going to get jumped right in here. We had 6 rocket launches last week. The first on Wednesday, the 29th, at 5:50 Mountain Daylight Time. China Aerospace and Science Corporation, CASIX, reported the successful launch of the Tianlian 3-01 mission on a Long March 7A rocket departing pad LC-201 at the Wenchang Satellite Launch Center in China. The TL-3 satellites are third generation of Chinese geostationary orbit data relay satellites. They will support real-time communication between orbiting satellites, rockets in flight, and ground control. Also on Wednesday 29th, CASIX reported launching the TJSW-72A and B satellites on a Long March 6A rocket from LC-9A at the Taiyuan Satellite Launch Center in China. The 2 classified satellites are said to be for communication technology test purposes. And we'll reset the review here. The 6RDC back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Third launch, Thursday, July 30th, SpaceX successfully launched the NROL-95 mission on a Falcon 9 departing Slick 40, Cape Canaveral. The NROL-95 is a classified mission for the National Reconnaissance Office, suspected to be a next-generation naval ocean surveillance system satellite. It was the 180th orbital launch worldwide this year and the 701st SpaceX mission of all time. Fourth launch, Friday, July 31st at 20:59 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX launched Starlink Group 17-52 from Vandenberg Space Force Base. 22 Starlight Minis headed to join the mega constellation in sun-synchronous orbit. This morning, on Tuesday, August 4th, 2:50 Mountain Daylight Time, China's CASIX launched SatNet LEO Group 23, the top of Long March 8A rocket from LC-1 Wenchang Space Launch Site. Another 9 communication satellites went to low Earth orbit for the Chinese state-owned SatNet constellation. The constellation will eventually consist of 13,000 satellites. And we'll reset the repeater here. This is W6RDZ back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. The last launch also this morning, Tuesday, August 4th at 11:05 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX Starlink Group 17-53 from Slick 4E Vandenberg Space Force Base. It was booster 1063's 34th flight and recovery. The 90th Falcon 9 mission of 2026. All right, let's take up our 6 other launches this week. I'm going to reset the repeater there. W6RD RDZ back with the rocket report. First launch in about 30 minutes at 2035. China rocket is scheduled to launch an undisclosed payload on a Qilong 3 rocket from the Haiyang offshore launch site in the China Sea. Tomorrow, Wednesday, August 5th, SpaceX plans to launch Bluebird 11 213 on a Falcon 9 departing Slick 40, Cape Canaveral, Florida at 0142. This launch takes 3 next-generation Bluebird cell phone communication satellites to low Earth orbit for ATS Space Mobile. Third launch of the week, Saturday, August 8th at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. SpaceX intends to launch Starlink Group 1736 from Slick 4E, Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. Resetting the repeater. And our fourth launch for next week, CASIC on August 9th, Sunday. They're scheduled the launch of an undisclosed payload on a Long March 7A rocket. Let's see, fifth launch, Monday, August 10th at 8:49 Mountain Daylight Time. Look for SpaceX to launch Starlink Group 1019 from Split 40, Cape Canaveral. And next Tuesday, August 11th, during the net at 12 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX is scheduled to launch a Starlink Group 17-49 from Slick 4E, Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. That brings us up to the space news, and I've got 5 or 6 short items. Very busy week in space news. Let's reset the repeater there. All right, W6RDZ back with the rocket report. The U.S. Extravehicular Activity, or EVA 93, at the International Space Station is scheduled for Thursday, August 6th at 0600 Mountain Daylight Time. NASA astronauts Jessica Meir and Anil Menton will exit the Quest airlock to install hardware that will modify the station's 3D power channel in preparation for a new rollout solar array. You can watch it on NASA TV. The second item is that Starship 40 is still afloat in the Indian Ocean. As reported last week, Starship Flight 13 was a huge success. The historic flight ended with Starship 40, spectacularly landing softly in the Indian Ocean and not exploding after tipping over. This surprised even SpaceX. They did not plan on recovering Ship 40. At this time last week, SpaceX said they would scuttle the ship. The next morning, Elon changed his mind. A SpaceX recovery ship called Go Australia initially stayed near the vehicle. 2 more ships, Norwegian tugboats named Norman Ranger, and Skimmer Tide, have now joined the effort and have the ship in slow tow to Australia. No details yet on what has become of the ship, but I'll keep you posted. Check out these really great images on the links below in the text version. All right, that brings us to the Boeing Starliner. There is a possibility it's going to run a cargo run to the ISS in 2026. Word from NASA and Boeing is that the redesign efforts are going well for Starliner, and it could be ready for an uncrewed cargo run to the ISS by the end of the year. The biggest obstacle to the test flight might be scheduling it with the ISS and finding a free docking port. The ISS is a very busy place, and most of the time the ports are full. Fourth news item, let's reset the repeater here. This is W6RDZ back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. The NASA SWIFT mission is in trouble. The SWIFT Boost mission is a first-of-its-kind robotic servicing operation to raise the orbit of NASA's Neil Grell Swift Observatory, which is decaying due to atmospheric drag and solar activity. Without intervention, SWIFT is expected to re-enter the atmosphere in 2026. The $30 million Link spacecraft built by Catalyst Space Technology was launched on July 30th aboard a Northrop Grumman Pegasus XL rocket to rendezvous and capture SWIFT, then used its xenon-fueled thrusters to boost it to orbit. You may have recalled that report about a month ago. In recent days, Link has been spinning on multiple axes, causing temporary loss of communications and complicating the planned capture of the Swift telescope. Preliminary investigation shows two of its three reactors are not operable, and some of its cold gas thrusters have lost functionality. These systems are critical for attitude control and fine guidance during the rendezvous. Catalyst ground team based near Denver is using Link's remaining healthy systems, including its xenon-fueled electric thrusters, to gradually slow spin and regain stable control. NASA Ambassador Jerry Isaacman said, "We are not giving up yet," emphasizing the mission's potential to demonstrate autonomous in-orbit servicing. Reset the repeater. W6RDZ back with the rocket report. All right. The Nancy Grace Roman telescope is on track to launch later this month. The hover replacement is scheduled for liftoff August 30th at 05:26 Mountain Daylight Time on a SpaceX Falcon Heavy from LC-39A, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. That's great news. All right, and this one just kind of in. The Falcon 9 upper stage will slam into the moon early tomorrow morning. Back on January 15th, 2025, SpaceX launched Aerospace's Blue Ghost lander to the moon on a Falcon 9 rocket. The disposable Falcon 9 upper stage placed the moon lander in cislunar orbit, and the Blue Ghost lander did in fact successfully land on the moon. The Falcon 9 upper stage remained orbiting in the Earth-Moon vicinity. Independent astronomers have been tracking the spent upper stage and its flight path. Let's see. The prediction is it will make impact on the moon at 0644 UTC, which, let's see, that's the predictions are anywhere from 12:35 to 12:44 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And don't forget to wait the additional 1.25 light seconds for the flash to reach the Earth. The impact is not expected to be visible by the naked eye. However, telescopes around the globe will be watching. One source said it will take at least a 4-inch telescope to view the impact. Let's reset the repeater. horizon. The truck-sized 88,000-pound impactor will strike the moon at 5,436 miles an hour near the Einstein crater on the sunlit limb. That's about 6 times slower than your average asteroid impact. The impact flash will last less than a second. The Falcon upper stage is expected to cut out a new crater on the moon, 90 feet wide and 16 foot deep. A plume of impact debris is predicted to rise several miles above the moon's limb. Some models predict it may be as much as 31 miles in altitude. The ejected cloud is predicted to hang around for maybe 40 seconds. So if you're looking for a challenging target for your telescope, there you go. Get it out and have a look. There, about 12:30 in the morning to about 12:45. Well, that's it for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net's Rocket Report. This is W6RDZ, Rocket Man Ed, wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Now, back to Starman Bonus, KI0AR, Capcom, Mission Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Thanks for the rocket report this evening. A lot of good information there, Ed. Do appreciate it. Let's see, I'm going to acknowledge a few other check-ins. We got Mark KC8FQV checked in. We got Mike KE2FTG checking in over on YouTube. So thanks for that as well. Oh, we're going to call on John, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What is our history for today? Please go ahead. W2JLS, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Go ahead.
Transmitting from Fair Lawn, Ohio. A very good evening on your ears. To Mission Control Furnace, KI0AR, Rocket Man Ed, W6RDZ, and everyone else listening tonight on the Colorado Astronomy Net. A further special hello to those listening in on my old repeater here, the Whiskey Kilo Yankee, presently connected in on the Sky Uplink amateur radio system. These are tonight's story, first day in space, we're going to call it, right? Tonight's story begins with a man who overslept by more than 30 minutes. Now, I get that alone would not ordinarily earn anyone a place in space history or a slot decades later on an esteemed amateur radio astronomy net. But on August 7th, 1961, the singular sleeper in question was the only living human who had just happened not to be on planet Earth. The sleeping cosmonaut was none other than Germán Titov aboard the Vostok 2. And he was living through the first full day in space. And when I say that, I do not mean only his first day in space. I mean literally the first day in space for anyone, ever. Months earlier, Titov had stood ready as a standby for Yuri Gagarin. Gagarin was chosen to become the first human in space. On April 12, 1961, he was. That said, that was an amazing enough milestone. We're all familiar with cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin. His name's still very well known today. Yuri's entire flight, however, was comprising only about 108 minutes. Okay, this story, however, isn't about Yuri Gagarin. It's aboard Vostok 1. Tonight's moment in the history of space and astronomy will take us back 65 years ago this week. Man in space. German Titov was someone most of you probably never heard of, and maybe if you have, it's just a vaguely familiar name. But in 1961, August 6th, the Soviet Union launched him on Vostok 2. Inside was the 25-year-old Titov flying under the call sign Oreo, that's Russian for eagle. His assignment represented an enormous leap, not one orbit, but more than 17, in not 108 minutes, rather a solid record-breaking 25 hours and 18 minutes. Titov remains even to this day in 1926 the youngest human ever to orbit the Earth, and no American would surpass the length of his flight till Gordon Cooper almost 2 years later. German logged an impressive list of first and noteworthy accomplishments on this mission. He was the first human to orbit the Earth repeatedly, the first to remain in space for an entire day, the first to take manual control of an orbiting spacecraft, the first to photograph and film the Earth from orbit, German. For the first few minutes after reaching orbit, Titov did almost nothing. He simply looked through his two small windows and watched the Earth moving beneath him. Then, this is a detail I particularly appreciate to share with you on the amateur radio net. Surprise coming through with remarkable clarity with the Japanese radio station broadcasting in Russian. Now, we don't know precisely which station it was, maybe Japan, Radio Japan, but we don't know precisely what was said, what Titov heard. But for a few moments, the only human in orbit was doing something wonderfully familiar to all of us, something we're all doing right now. He was listening to the radio. So for a few moments, the only human in orbit was doing that. Okay, kind of neat. Now you're doing it too. Hearing about him. Titov then unlocked the manual controls and actually flew through the darkness using a hand controller to orient Vostok 2. This is the first ever that this has occurred, distinguishing the pitch black skies from the faintly moonlit Earth below. He toured it about and controlled it manually. On a second orbit around the Earth, he picked up his professional motion picture camera. Something had happened on the trip, on the launch, and the dial had broken away from its exposure meter during launch, so the first orbital cameraman had to guess his settings for lighting, but for about 10 minutes he captured the first Earth and sky as no human had ever seen them, probably overexposed. W2JLS for ID. Continuing on this evening in spot space and astronomy history, for Titov, this day suddenly changed. His spacecraft continued working, but his body kind of had some funny business going on. Moving his head brought dizziness and nausea. His appetite disappeared. He opened a small tube of black currant juice, and a drop escaped and floated directly in front of his nose. He caught the drop with a cap to the juice bottle, and an almost playful demonstration of weightlessness, but when later he tried to eat, the playfulness was over. He became violently ill. And yes, that is what it sounds like. Kind of like not space madness, but space sickness. Today we know this as space adaptation syndrome. His eyes could see the motion and direction, but without gravity, his inner ear had lost the familiar reference for which we detect which way is down. His brain was receiving two honest signals to disagree. For the first time, humanity learned that reaching space and adapting to space were two entirely different things. By his seventh orbit, Titov was ready to sleep. He fastened himself into place, only to awaken and discover that his arms had floated upward in front of him. He quickly tucked them beneath his restraints and went back to sleep. Outside Vostok 2, the sun rose and set approximately every 44 minutes. I should say it rose or set with those 88-minute interval. But inside the first person to sleep in space, slept well enough that he also became the first person to oversleep in space by more than a half an hour. Probably a good thing that he eventually woke up. At this point, Vostok 2 still had to bring him home. During re-entry, the capsule failed to separate completely from its equipment module. A stubborn bundle of cables kept the two sections tethered together. His descent at times was uncomfortably out of control. Once fire filled Titov's window, pieces of melting antennas streaking past. When the remaining connections finally burned through, the capsule began tumbling. At about 23,000 feet, Titov was fortunately able to eject his plans and descended under his personal parachute. It's worth noting here that early cosmonauts didn't land with their capsules, but rather ejected with their personal chutes. The empty descent capsule landed separately under its own parachute. So anyway, Germán, turning his head at precisely the wrong moment during that ejection, struck his nose inside his helmet. Shortly thereafter, he reported having seen drops of blood appearing on his visor in his space helmet. His reserve parachute then began twisting toward his main canopy, and the wind carried him toward a railway line as he approached the Earth in his descent, a Moscow-bound train thundering past beneath him. Only seconds later, Germán Titov was back on Earth. The Soviet headlines reported this with a much simpler version of the story, claiming after a successful mission that Vostok 2 landed safely. Tonight you're getting at least a part of the story behind the story. 9 months later, at the height of the Cold War, John Glenn served as Titov's host during a visit to the United States. Together with the first American in orbit and the second human to do so, they were able to meet President John F. Kennedy at the White House. Titov never flew in space again. He went once at the age of 25, lived another 39 years without returning. After the death of Yuri Gagarin in a MiG training exercise, it was felt that he was too valuable a cosmonaut to lose, so they didn't let him fly any longer. With that, many historical space accounts give you Yuri Gagarin in a paragraph or two, but Germán Titov is lucky to be granted one short sentence, that sentence being the second man in space. But now we know the story behind that sentence. History remembers Yuri was the first person to pass through the door from the Earth into space, but tonight we got a chance to focus on the second person who expanded the boundaries of human limits. Germán Titov, the second man to pass through the door and stay long enough to experience a little more of what was waiting on the other side. With that, thank you for listening to this week's History in Space and Astronomy. For the Colorado Astronomy Net, this is John W2JLS passing you back to Kilo, India 0, Alpha Romeo, and Mission Control.
All right, John, thanks for that. This is, I appreciate you sharing that tidbit of space history with us. Appreciate that. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, we had a couple more check-ins. I think KE2FTG, Mike, I think I got you there. Scott, K9NDT, thanks for checking in over on YouTube. Hopefully you're still listening in. Posted that. If you like to share your experience, knowledge, or whatever, share with us your experiences in astronomy, whether you're starting out or you've been doing it for decades or somewhere in between. I'll post that and I'll pass that along to the rest of the crew. But again, welcome to the net. Let's see. Well, we got a big list tonight. So I do appreciate everybody hanging around. I'll call for more check-ins. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net that I have not already acknowledged, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
This is Kilo Alpha 3, Uniform Foxtrot Victor, Sean, KA3UFB.
Okay, good evening to you, Sean. KA3UFV, thanks for checking in tonight. All right, now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports. Love to hear it all. Now's the time to contribute to the net. And hopefully we'll have some observation reports in 2 weeks for sure. Or even now, next week, if you're starting to spot some of the Perseids through the skies, definitely want to hear about that for sure. Anything else you're looking at as well. But first on the list tonight is Randall, AE7RJ up in Washington. Good evening to you, Randall. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, I'm going to go, let's see, Bob, next on the list, KA8LYJ up in Ohio. Good evening to you, Bob. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go kind of quickly through the list. We've got a long list tonight, and so I'm just going to bop through. I do apologize if I miss you going down the list, but I will call at the end if you've got any comments if I happen to skip you over and you'd like to contribute. But please listen out for your call as I go down the list. Next on the list is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, well, good evening, Bruce, and everybody on the net. And we have smoke. Boy, do we have smoke. I complain about it, but the preaching isn't choir because everybody else has had smoke too here in the last 2 weeks. So today is our turn. Thank you, Cash Up to Kim.
All right, Roy, we got smoke too. In fact, I took a picture of the Martian sunrise from my backyard yesterday afternoon or yesterday morning. At least I saw this weird orange glow when I got up, and I said, you know, that's not right. And I looked out there, and the smoke was so thick that it looked like it would have easily been a sunrise on the planet Mars for the orange that it was. Who knows? I may post that. We'll see. Roy, I do appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And by the way, I used your image of M8 and M20 there in the newsletter. So I do appreciate that. So I'm sharing that with everybody. Roy is one of our astrophotographers. Great images that he produces. If you're interested in seeing some of his work, check out his QRZ webpage, KI7PKL, and check those out. Next on the list is John up in Ohio, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
WTJLS. I won't hold it. I just took up a long time with history, so I'm going to pass the mic on down. You've got a nice long list there. Thanks for having me in there tonight. WTJLS. Pass it along.
All right, John, no worries. Appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And let's see. John, I may ask you to be net control sometime next year, actually July, August time frame, maybe about 4 weeks worth. But we'll talk about that at a later date. Hopefully you'll be around next year to do that. All right. Next on the list is Doug and Parker, K08TP. Good evening to you, Doug. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Burns. Everyone up in the net. We are actually, or I am actually, in Parker, Colorado. I'm back home from our seasonal PTH in Tennessee, but it's good to be back home and be actually on the net. We're coming to you where it's on the 44625 machine. I can't remember. But anyway, I really appreciate everything that you do, and particularly the contributions that John WTJLS contributes to your net on the Human Spaceflight History segment. And I'll be the first one to vote him in to be net control next time. So that's what's going on the ATP Shack. Thanks for all the information. And as Rock report, I'll pass it back to you. KI0AR, this is K0ATP 73, everybody.
All right, Doug. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And yeah, I do appreciate John doing net control when he can. I will probably be doing more excursions, more me time for sure. Big time me time coming up next July, August. That's the eclipse in Egypt, and I'm headed to go see that. So don't know if I can check. Well, we'll have to see what kind of internet connection I have over there and get on Echolink and put that country on the list. We'll see. Yeah, I do appreciate your comments, Doug. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Moy down in Texas, N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Marcus, the group. N5, this is ZIQ Moy down here in Houston, Texas. First of all, I wanted to thank Roy, KI7PKL, for sharing penetrated into the Texas area, and that actually gave us a really nice sunset this evening, and I thought that was very good. I should have gone out and taken a picture or two, but missed that one. But anyway, we're doing okay down here. Kind of in between a couple of storms, but looking for a little bit of clear skies, and hopefully maybe there will be some good opportunities around here to check out the moon this evening and a little splash that may occur. And I think I'm probably going to miss that one myself in person, but I bet there's going to be some good pictures out there on the internet. So, I'll look forward to that. We'll talk to y'all later on. Have a great evening, 73, everybody. This is it, ZIQ4, Houston, Texas. I'll be clear.
All right, Moy, yeah, that smoke does get around, for sure. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Robert down in Texas, AA5AH. Good evening to you, Robert. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
To the net, really enjoyed the net. It's always good to hear what's going on, all the rocket reports and stuff. So, yeah, the orange sky was really orangey today. I was flying my drone in the RC field, and it was awfully kind of orangey, almost looked like the Sahara Desert storm coming through, but it was all that dark. So, anyway, enjoy the net. I'll keep it short. I'll see y'all next week. AA5AH.
All right, Robert, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, I switched over. We were losing John earlier on digital, and I switched over to analog to copy that, and I forgot to switch back. So now I'm back on digital again, hopefully, so you can listen to the differences between the analog and digital there. But Robert, do appreciate your checking in, appreciate your comments. Next on the list is Ken in Nevada, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Well, I want to touch base with Ken. It's been a while. I've seen him check in, and I haven't heard him out there. NV7SS, this is KI0AR calling. What have you got for us tonight, Ken? Go ahead. All right, Ken, I know you're out there, but I definitely appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Chad in Highlands Ranch, KF0UUC. Good evening to you, Chad. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening. K0UUC. Nothing much here. I was hoping to go camping for the lake show next week. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. So instead, I'm thinking of driving up to Kenosha Pass, which is not too far away, and hopefully get some dark skies there, either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on the weather. So that's about it. If anybody else happens to be up there on those evenings, be on the radio. But thank you for the net. Appreciate it. Back to you.
All right, Chad. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some out somewhere. I'm not at least on the 12th. I got unfortunately I got a procedure on the 13th, morning of the 13th. So I'm gonna try to get out earlier in the week, see what's gonna happen. But yeah, good luck with that, and appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, Chad. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Richard down in Texas. WB9CSP. Good evening to you, Richard. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we got a whole slew of people over on YouTube that I'll acknowledge. Let's see, we got Mike in Oklahoma. That's KO5AOK. Thanks for checking in tonight. If anybody on YouTube has anything to share, definitely post that over there. Definitely want to hear about your viewing of the Perseids next week and the week after for sure. On all the ways you can check in. Mary, VE3AOA, appreciate her checking in. She had to check out a little earlier. Graham, MM1DEA over in Scotland, thanks for checking in tonight. Michael in Utah, K7VWP, thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Eric, KR4AFB in North Carolina. Thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. And we got Bruce in Tennessee, K3HY. Thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. Do appreciate all the YouTubers checking in to the net tonight. Appreciate it. Next on the list is Russ in Ohio. KD8VYT. Good evening to you, Russ. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list, we have Tom, KN4EWT in Tennessee. Good evening to you, Tom. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Parker in Kansas, K0VL. Good evening to you, Parker. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is David in Ohio, WE8M. Good evening to you, David. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Dave, we got you on the list. I have 0AS over on YouTube, so thanks for that. Let's see, where was I? Next on the list is Tom in Texas, KJ5KEI. Good evening to you, Tom. Welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Steve down in Colorado Springs, KM6VAY. Good evening to you, Steve. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we got Danny at Highlands Ranch over on YouTube, KF0WXE. Good evening to you, Danny. Thanks for checking in tonight as well over on YouTube. Next on the list is Ed, W6RDZ, and Broomfield. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening again, Bernice. Really got nothing. Thanks for another great net. Loved the history lesson and space flight. All of that. Just a wonderful net overall. That's all I've got. I guess I haven't been looking out at that moon. What is that called? That's a Hunter's moon? Something like that. Anyway, it's probably going to be pretty orange and pretty yellow tonight as it comes up. That's all I've got. W6RDZ. Back to you.
All right, Ed. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, that smoke really detracts from brightness of a lot of objects. I'm wondering what I've got an occultation coming up on the 10th. I need to prepare for it and get the scope out and see if I can find this particular object at 4 o'clock in the morning our time. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll be clear enough and the smoke won't detract from it because it's pretty darn dim. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Chuck down in Florida, WB4AIZ. Good evening to you, Chuck. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Paul in Utah, WA7GVL. Good evening to you, Paul. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Bernice, it's not quite as smoky as it's been lately. I don't have a lot. When I was in Spokane for chaplain training, I came home with a nasty cold, and I'm finally getting to the end of it. I'm still coughing stuff up, but never ran a fever or anything. So I haven't been outside enjoying the stars, and I'm trying to keep track of that rocket that's crashing into the moon. And I haven't heard anything about it for a couple of days, so I'm wondering if I've missed it. So if you have any comments on that, I'd be interested. But other than that, I'm just sitting here trying to get over this crud. WA7G deal.
All right, Paul, I'm going to actually call on Ed because he talked a little bit about that. I'll let him pass you along a little bit more information. Ed, W6RDZ, would you share with Paul about the rocket crashing into the moon? Go ahead.
Yeah, 36RDZ here. That will happen in the wee hours of the morning. So look for that about anywhere from about 12:30. 12:35 is one prognostication, and the other prediction was 12:44 in the morning. You're going to need, they say, at least a 4-inch telescope to see it. It isn't expected to be visible with the naked eye or even with binoculars. But if you're there, why not try it if you don't have a telescope? If you have a telescope, you want to locate Einstein crater, and that's right on the sunlit limb of the moon. And you may be able to spot the flash when it strikes the moon. That will last less than a second. So you got to keep your eyes open for that one. No blinking. And then there's a plume of debris, of ejecta from the crater that is expected to be as high as 31 miles. All the predictions will say it'll be miles high, but one of the big ones said 31. And that's just going to look like a cloud. And it only is going to last 40 seconds, I think it was, because there's no air on the moon, so nothing to keep the dust up. It's all going to fall like rocks, even the fine stuff. So that little cloud will last for about 40 seconds, but the impact point is right on the limb of the moon, so it will be illuminated by the sun against the dark space background. If you have any, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know if you have any more questions. W6RDZ, back to net.
I think it's passed back to me. Sorry if I'm interrupting you, Bernice, but I think that was a great report, Ed. I really appreciate it. Ever since I first found out about this, I've been really trying to pay attention to it. So it would not be feasible for me to set up a telescope. I still haven't replaced the one that's damaged. But I would definitely go outside and see if I can see that flash that you talked about. And I really appreciate the comments. So back to you, Bernice, WA7GVL.
All right, Paul. All right, Ed. Appreciate that. Ed, what is that date? You said the times. Sometime 12:30 to 12:45 a.m. Is that this evening? So today is August 5th, or no, to August 4th. So it would be tomorrow morning and the 5th, or tonight. But yeah, essentially tomorrow morning, very, very early. Is that when? I missed the date. Go ahead.
Yes, Bernice, you are spot on. That will be in the wee morning hours of the 5th. So tonight, yeah. Tonight, in the wee hours of tomorrow morning.
And that is what is that UT? Just to make sure, what the timing you were giving was Mountain Daylight Time. So we'll have to work that out. I'm assuming that it was Mountain Daylight, so I don't want anybody to miss it, especially if they can see it, you know, somewhere here in the States, for sure, or wherever you happen to be. Go ahead with that. So that's what, six. Oh shoot. Yeah, 6:30, 06:30 UT. Is that correct?
That is correct. 06, 30, 06, 44 UT. Those are the two predictions I've seen. UPC. And I guess that's the other one you'll see is 02, 35 and 45 Eastern daylight time. So you're spot on there.
Okay, Ed. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. So 06:30 Universal Time, and 06, like I said, 06:30 UT. So and sometime after that. So I have to convert that to your local time. So whatever that is. Just want to make sure everybody gets that. That makes it a little easier. All right, let's see. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We got Jack over on YouTube, KE0VH. Thanks for checking in tonight, Jack. We'll try to catch part of your show tomorrow night. Again, that's Captain Jack Flight Sim tomorrow, 6:30 on YouTube. Next on the list is Marty in Iowa. W9EAA. Good evening to you, Marty. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Ernest, and everyone else. I've got nothing for the net. You have enjoyed every bit of it this evening. Back to you, Ernest. Good night, Echo Alpha Alpha. Radio 2, KE0VH.
All right, there he is. I'll get back. Let me sign with Marty there, Jack. Marty, thanks for your comments. I appreciate you checking in tonight. Go ahead, Jack. KE0VH, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, good evening all the way around, and thanks, Ernest, for letting folks know about my YouTube channel there. I appreciate that, and good to see you on there last night, too. Really appreciate that. Wanted to let everybody know in Steamboat Springs, we do have our Sky Uplink repeater there on 447225, I think it is. I'm blanking on it for sure. As far as the frequency goes, you can find it, of course, on the skyuplink.com repeater list on the web pages. But we do have that over on analog now. We decided to switch that repeater over to analog up at Steamboat Springs. It would probably serve the community and actually have a better covered signal from the top of Storm Peak at the top of the Steamboat Springs Ski Resort. So once again, we have changed that repeater over to analog. Skylar's working on some other projects. We did send out an emailer to everybody last week, and if you can and are so able, we'd ask for your help with that. Check your email. Details will be in that. We've got a couple of other projects that we'd like to do for Sky Uplink, and expanding the system and helping out some communities with radio that sure could use a coverage. So, Ernest, with that, back to Ned. Good to hear everybody tonight on the Colorado Astronomy Net, and so glad to have Ernest in the net here. If I could ever be of service, please let me know. By the way, real quickly, too, I did send out another emailer to the list tonight. A gentleman is literally getting rid of a couple of things for free. So a nice Icon power supply and then a beautiful Grundig operational console radio that's quite extraordinary. So look for your emails and that. Ernest, thank you for letting me jump back in. When I check in on YouTube, short of being out of town and not having a radio, I'll always be monitoring the radio later. KI0AR, great job tonight, Ernest, from KE0 in KE0VH in Wheat Ridge. Simter.
All right, roger that, Jack. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate you checking in tonight, for sure. Let's see. Next, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Mark in Ohio. KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
I can wait a few seconds there to make sure all them little Indian soldiers get straightened up so they can march in a different direction in the back row. But yeah, I did see it about that rocket that was hitting the moon. Yeah, I was busy. And I had a lot of nets going, a lot of Zooms going. So, but yeah, I did see about that rocket. And there's people traveling on the RV radio net. So, but I just gonna stop in and listen along. Yeah, you come many nights, many Tuesdays night. They'll bring you up on the Silver Creek repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, 147.39. So the people around, it gets up into Akron, down into Wooster, Ohio. So pick some new people up maybe that way. JLS is out there. So I'll just send it back your way. And yep, I've spent many years stopping here on and off over the years. So KSFQV, back to net control.
All right, Mark. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and definitely I do appreciate the following that I've gathered here over the years. In fact, here's something for Jack. A milestone tonight is number 200 on the SkyHub link. Hosting of the Colorado Astronomy Net is number 200 tonight. I am shooting for, in 8 weeks, I'll be celebrating 1,600 Colorado Astronomy Nets on the air. So a couple of big milestones. Tonight, 200 on SkyHub link, and then in 8 weeks will be 1,600 doing the net. So been around for a while, and do appreciate everybody that has been around for a while for and checking in regularly, for sure. We had Mike over up in New York, KE2FTG, checked in via let's see, via YouTube. So thanks for that. And we got a new call sign over Scott up in Loveland, K9NDT. Thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. So we'll go down to Sean in Arvada, KA3UFV. Good evening to you, Sean. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KA3UFE, nothing from last night. Just wanted to jump in and say hello. KA3UFE back then.
All right, Sean, hello back for sure. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Dave over from Evergreen, AF0AS over on YouTube. Appreciate you checking in over there, Dave. Let's see. And we had a new call pop up over on NetLogger. We got KI5ZDF, Tim down in Oklahoma. Good evening to you, Tim. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernus. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. And the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Appreciate you checking in over NetLogger. Hopefully you're on the air as well, but I want to officially welcome you to the net. And tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy there, Tim, whether you're starting out, you've been doing it for decades. KI5, ZDF, go ahead, please. Okay, we are at the bottom of the list and the top of the hour. Boy, what a long list. And I do appreciate everybody that's still out there hanging around and listening to the net. I do appreciate that. Right now, I'm going to call and see. No, this smoke is definitely getting to my lungs. I'm going to make one call tonight. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening? Please call KI0AR now.
K9BYU for late check-in.
Okay, Russell, we got on the list K9BYU. Thanks for checking in tonight. And D. Michael, yeah, garbled single, but looked on the dashboard there. KF0MCM, thanks for checking in tonight. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening? Please call KI0AR now.
Romeo Oscar November. Whiskey 2. Romeo Oscar November. State of Vermont. Over.
Okay, good evening to you, Ron. Appreciate you checking in up in Vermont, W2RON. We're going to go back to Russell, K9BYU. Good evening to you, Russell. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Oh, no, heck of a lot. Just listening in and learning everything I can once again. I'm just out here doing my puppy taxi thing. It's good to hear you, everybody, and appreciate you being out there. Love this net. K9BYU. Back to you. Yes, sir, yeah.
All right, Dave, hold on. We'll get you. Oh yeah, well, Dave, yeah, we let's see. Excuse me. Well, Ron up in Vermont. Let's see. D. Michael said checking in and out. So okay, Ron up in Vermont. W2RON. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for taking my call. We've been a long time interested in just wanted to check in on that and see what kind of activity. Maybe I could learn something, but I haven't heard much talk. I haven't been listening all that time, all that long. But I haven't heard too much talk about astronomical things. I don't know what you normally talk about, whether it's telescopes, deep sky objects, charts. I don't know. That's why I'm checking in here to see what it's all about. We've been into astronomy for many, many years, but we really haven't advanced very far in it. But we do have a great deal of interest in it. And we used to go to Cellophane in Vermont many years ago. Telescope Makers Convention was very enjoyable. And anyway, very good. We thank you for taking our call, and we'll be. Well, what time? Is it every Tuesday night? At what time? So I can check in again, and I'll make a note of it and I'll hear more of what I'm interested in. W2RON, Ron.
All right, Ron. Yeah, we meet at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Mountain, so 9 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, you're catching the tail end. It's 11 o'clock there. If you want to check out what we talked about the upcoming eclipse on the 12th, along with the Perseid meteor showers. Which peaks on the 12th, and it's already going on right now. We talked about that. Didn't talk so much about the planets individually like I usually do. Check out the recording on YouTube. I've been doing all these recordings on YouTube now for a while. I'm not sure. I'm definitely over a year's worth on YouTube. But you can definitely check that out as well. And you can listen to those anytime. Yeah, check out the one for tonight. Definitely a lot of good information. We got the rocket report. We had our history lesson as well. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern time is when I host the net. So, Ron, looking forward to hearing you in the future for sure. I do appreciate it. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight, because you definitely checked in before. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Dave in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Thanks, Boris. I don't know how much you got in the rocket report because I just got in my car coming back from Starbase, so I missed all that. There was a lot of info released today during the second quarter SpaceX financials. So I don't know how much you got if you want to come back to me on that.
Sure, yeah. We'll just ask, yeah, he covered a lot. He covered a lot tonight, but we can do a rehash. I'm not sure about the financials or whatever, but go ahead, Dave.
Was 1,000 V3 Starlinks in orbit by the end of the year, I think, or beginning of next year, and a launch a day by this time next year of a Starship.
Oh, wow. Definitely becoming a spacefaring planet, at least with SpaceX there, Dave. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. All right. Wow. Great turnout tonight. Again, if anybody missed anything, definitely check out the YouTube presentation for tonight. So definitely appreciate everybody checking in. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 37 check-ins tonight. That's a large group, one of the largest this year, I think, for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu, Wednesdays, for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net on the SkyHub Link system, skyhublink.com. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater system. I'd like to thank the SkyHub Link group for the use of their system as well. 200, number 200 tonight on SkyHub Link, so I do appreciate that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.